Hi, everybody. My name is Jeff Moriarty, and I'm the social media director here at Swift. And we're doing an owner-operator update. Do a lot of stuff for our company drivers, but we want to make sure that we're getting out there and talking to our owner-operators, who are an incredible group, working hard out there. And we've got two incredible people here to talk about that. So, Ian, you want to say hi?
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Jeff. Working with the owner operator group this year has just been awesome. We've had a ton of just positive momentum with our group and with the rate increases and the mileage, the freight that's out there. So it's been a pretty exciting year, and we just want to jump on today and talk about a couple of things we have happening.
And I'm glad to be doing that. And then we're going to go to Michelle here, the wonderful lady at the end. But before I do, if you are watching and you have questions, if you have comments, if you just want to say hi, love hearing from our drivers. Go ahead and leave a comment on Facebook or YouTube, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. So, Michelle, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Michelle Cantrell. I'm the owner-operator recruiter or owner-operator business advisor out of Greer, South Carolina. Happy Driver Appreciation Day.
Yes, excellent timing. I don't know how I could. Michael's watching. Good to hear from you, Michael. And again, appreciate all our drivers out there. So well-timed comment there. So now both of you have been with the owner-op team for a while. Like what's going on right now with the owner-operator team that you're excited about? What's interesting in owner-operator world?
Well, I mean, we've got a lot going on. Aside from some lease specials that we have out there, and the ability now for our owner operators to train our new drivers coming in, and just the freight market itself is as great as it's ever been. I mean, it's things are really good for owner operators. So when we think about this program and how it works and what are the real good benefits of becoming an owner operator and working with Swift as an owner operator is being able to work with a company that has such a huge freight base and the ability to provide miles that an owner operator would need to really build up their business and have the success that they're looking for. With it's going to take miles. That's part of it, and having a partnership with Swift gives you that ability to really work with one of the largest freight networks in the industry, really. So, and Michelle, what is it about the lease program that you think is a benefit to the drivers out there?
Well, of course, right now, the miles are incredible. We have more miles for our drivers than we've probably ever had. The average owner-operator settlement is larger than I've seen in ever. The capability to route yourself and run in the lanes that you want to do. Yeah. We've been establishing new lanes like 95, so you can run up and down the East Coast, or just so you can get home more often. So it just the lane that you're traveling works well with what you want, how you want to run your business. You're making great money while you're doing it. I mean, now's the time. I don't have any reason why I would wait. It's Christmas time. We all know it's Christmas time, but that's, another thing we're here to talk about is we got that great special going on right now. Instead of the normal 23 days, no payment that we offer, you're looking at 6 weeks, no payment. So right now, if you lease a truck today, you're looking till the beginning of February before you make your first payment.
All right. I'm so excited about this lease program that I'm going to skip 4 items ahead in our list.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
Okay. All right. So this is the holiday lease special that you're talking about. So
yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
All
real
right.
quick.
We're jumping ahead.
We'll jump ahead and I'll add a little bit to it. No, the holiday lease special is exciting. It's something that we started at the beginning of I think November, I think, Michelle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where really what we were hoping to do is provide a person who wants to start their business right away an opportunity to get in, get going, get through the holidays before they have to make a truck payment. And so when somebody leases today, they have 6 weeks before they'll even make a single truck payment. And it just gives them that opportunity to get through the holidays, get it up until the the first part of the year and
we
be
know
in a
everybody wants to be home and spend time with their family during the holidays.
Right.
And so this gives you the opportunity to go home and not have to worry about a payment coming out.
It is, yeah, and it's an awesome opportunity. It is something that is going to be sunsetting at the end of this year. So December 31st is the last opportunity that we would have for our drivers or for our new owner operators to have that 6-week option versus the original 3-week option or the 3 weeks without a truck payment. So that'll be changing just after the holidays this year, and we'll go back to kind of the regular standard.
Now,
Yeah,
so let me hop
exciting.
in there, because one thing I was going to say before is, I know when I talk to owner operators, a lot of people who become drivers in the first place, even just company drivers, they do it because they love that independence, right? They want to be their own boss. They want to be on the road, and just sort of not have somebody watching over their shoulders. And, when you lease a truck and you become an owner operator, you're taking that up even another notch, right? Now you've got your own truck. You can actually, I know several people who've worked on building a fleet of trucks, and it gives them that even greater level of autonomy and ability to build what they want to build, right? And reap the rewards of their own work. And that, lease program right now, with that program that you just talked about, Michelle, I've never, as long as I've been here, heard of a better time to sort of get in and take advantage of that if you want to make that step.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing's forced dispatch. Drivers can pretty much, what I usually tell drivers when I'm working to recruit them is, you sit down with your owner operator consultant. You say, hey, this is how I like to run my truck. I don't like to go to New York, so don't go. Not a big deal. If you want to try to run the Southeast, we'll run you the Southeast. If you live in the Midwest and you want to run, the Midwest Circle, go right ahead. You're in control. It's up to you. As long as you're making money, you're happy, we're happy.
Yep. Okay. Now, I want to talk about some of our other lease programs here. A bunch of people have been leaving comments. We're going to get to some of those in a second here, if we talk about the other lease programs. So if you've got another question for either Ian or Michelle, go ahead and leave it in the either in Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching, and we will get back to you there. Now, you talked about the holiday lease special, but we have a couple of regular programs, right? So that go on and that don't have an end date of December 31st, right?
Correct.
Well, yeah, that's correct. Basically, we've got kind of 3 different options, and we've talked about it before on our Facebook page and kind of gone into the details. But really, what it comes down to is there's more or less the original lease program, where you can get into a very late model or new model truck,
Right.
and run through your lease through anywhere from 2 to 4 years, depending on the age of the equipment. And then we have our MRP program, and I'll let Michelle go into a little bit details there. The MRP program is really kind of designed for our higher mileage trucks, to put somebody in a position who wants to own their truck. They want to purchase it at the end as easy as possible to be able to do that. And so we'll go into a little bit more detail on the MRP. And then the FX program is really for our company drivers, guys who are in a truck today. They love their truck. They want to keep their truck, but they'd like to become an owner operator. And so it's just a matter, the FX actually stands for fleet exchange. So we can just flip that truck from the company fleet over to the owner operator fleet. Then that driver can keep his truck and run through the lease program that way. So Michelle, if you want, go in a little bit more detail about the MRP program and kind of how it works, and maybe what some of the benefits are.
Well, the biggest benefit, and if it were myself, I'd probably go for an MRP truck, to be honest. FX truck, all of our programs are good. Right now, 0 down payment. I mean, you can't go anywhere and get a truck without putting money down. Simple as that. MRP trucks, basically these trucks, their original lease has expired. So they're 17s and 18s. They're a 3-year deal. Truck payments are anywhere from $415 to $450 a week, plus your expenses. You do pay 7 cents a mile into this maintenance repair program. The maintenance repair program, that 7 cents equals out to maybe $100, $150 extra a week. But then again, that's why the truck payment itself is so low. With that maintenance repair program, you get routine maintenance, routine repairs, 0 out of pocket.
Yep. Doesn't cost you anything.
You get something major going on with your truck, engine, transmission type issues, 20%. I had a driver that I had in Driver Appreciation Week in Atlanta. We were discussing, the things that were going on with his truck. He had a 16, which were one of our first MRP trucks. He had a one box replaced in his truck. It's over a $10,000 repair. Normally, if you had an older truck at that age, that's your bill.
Yeah.
$16,000 out of your pocket. This driver's it cost him $1,600.
Yeah.
The MRP program paid for the rest of that repair, and he was back on the road and on his merry way.
Again, another good reason to not just be an owner-op, but be an owner-op with Swift, where you can leverage our shop and the knowledge here and programs like that and everything else as a total value that you get. So, you're going to say something? We've got some questions backing up. I'd like to go ahead as soon as you.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I was going to say, Jeff, is when it comes to MRP program, I think you nailed it. Having the Swift network of shops, our shop pricing, our parts pricing. I mean, there's, generally speaking, I think the average per hour rate in a shop today is probably $165 or something like that. I mean, it's not cheap to get your truck worked on, and being in the network, not just the MRP program, but being inside of this network gives you the opportunity to get our discounted rates on shops that we've negotiated around the country. So there's a lot of really good benefits.
Well, just talking about the no-name company we won't discuss, but you go out on the road and your truck breaks down. You'll get that phone call. Well, call us when you're up and ready. They're not going to support you. We're going to support you. We're going to help you get to a rental truck where you can get in a truck and keep on making money. Again, we've got that huge network. Almost anywhere you go, we have a terminal.
Yeah. All right. So I saw Daniel just checking in, said he loves being an O&O, love having you as part of the team. Bunch of other drivers chiming in here. So love hearing from you guys. So you two ready for some questions that have been coming in?
For sure.
Okay.
I did pay about 50 drivers to say good things on this call.
Right. Just thought ahead.
You could have paid. You could have paid me, and I'd have said
great things. Hey, Michelle.
I get nothing out of this. I tell you. All right, you guys. Okay. So Lonnie has a question. How much per mile do you make as an owner?
The pay rate is a sliding scale right now for an over-the-road dry van driver. It's anywhere from $1.15 to $1.36 plus the fuel rebate. The surcharge this week, I don't think I missed that email this morning, but last week it was almost 40.5 cents on top of the loaded mile. Right now, your fuel cost is less than 90 cents a gallon with our surcharge that we pay back to the drivers.
Yep.
All right. Hendrick wants to know, do we own our truck after the lease end?
That's a great question.
You can.
You absolutely can. Yeah. So
you always can.
And so let's start with kind of our longest term lease, which is our original lease program. Guy starts, if it's a brand new truck, it's a 4-year term. So at the end of that term, that driver would have the opportunity to purchase that truck at the residual value. Generally speaking, and Michelle, correct me if I'm a little bit off here, but probably $70,000 roughly.
Not quite.
65,000. Okay. So they'll be able to, they would have to go and get their own outside financing to be able to do that. However, because we have the MRP program, that owner could then transition that truck into the MRP program.
Oh, all right.
Where after an additional 3 years, they have the ability to purchase that truck for anywhere from $11,000 to $13,000, which is a lot easier for somebody to be able to finance if necessary.
Well, the reality of the situation is that if you get to your end of lease, you're still going to finance your truck somewhere.
Sure.
Yeah. So the best thing to do is go through us, do the MRP program. You've got the maintenance support to keep your truck on the road without, breaking the bank, coming out of pocket for all your repairs. Then at the end, you got $10,000 or $13,000 and bam, you're good to go.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to go back to a question that came in kind of right at the beginning up there. So Sam wanted to know, can you lease owner at first hire, or do you have to be with Swift for a certain amount of time?
I'll let you take that, Michelle.
Well, we do look at everything. You can apply. We do have Swift owner we have our own website where you can apply on 10th Street and where you can come in straight as an owner operator. If you have come in as a company driver, we do like to see a little time just to see how you're doing. But, given your experience and your safety level, we're willing to consider, we'll look at it. It's a case by case basis.
Yep.
Fair
Yep,
answer.
absolutely. We want experienced drivers. We'd love to have, guys with 10 years of experience come in and just become owner operators. So there is nothing specific that says a driver has to run as a company driver prior to becoming an owner operator. We do it every day, every week. And it's really just a matter of determining, the right candidates. So.
All right. Bear has a question. Do you governor owner operator trucks?
Absolutely.
Well, qualify
ahead.
that a little bit.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the lease program and leased trucks, we have a governor on that equipment. As a policy, Swift has a speed policy. Owner operators are not able to drive beyond our speed policy. So an owner who owns his own truck, we're not going to force you to put a governor on that truck. We're not going to tell you that you can't, you have to put the governor on. However, you still will have to abide by the policies in the speed limit, or you could have some issues with your business there. So
fair enough.
I mean, our trucks are governed. We also have the camera program. Obviously, it's outward facing cameras. They're not inward. If you agree to keep the outward facing camera in your truck is governed at 72.
Yep.
And of course, you're an independent contractor. You can do what you want to do. We do obviously prefer that you keep the camera in there. It protects us and you. But if you determine that you do want the camera out of your truck, it's still governed at 70, which is a lot higher than a lot of the companies out there.
Okay. All right. Alejandro wants to know, who can I speak to regarding my truck with Swift? I'm not working as Swift now, but I would love to return as an owner operator.
Me. Yeah, woo!
You can talk to Michelle.
Yeah, we have an 800 number. All you have to do is call the 800 number.
Should be scrolling right along the bottom right now.
There you go. Give us a call. Any one of our recruiters would be glad to help you.
All right. And the Michelle fan club is apparently checking in the comments as well. So I don't know.
That's the paid fan club thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you were joking about the payment, but apparently not. Okay. So in line with Alejandro's comment about coming on here, Norel wants to know, is there a sign-on bonus?
If you bring on your own tractor, if you have a truck, 2014 or newer, however, we will consider other trucks with some service records and pictures, $5,000 paid in full by the 30,000th mile you run.
Yep.
Okay. And we were joking about this before we went on the air, but one of the things that always gets asked is load board. Is there anything you want to say about the load board before we move on for the end people?
It's coming soon.
No, I will say that we've had some technical issues with it, and I know it's something that we've talked a lot about for a long time, but we have a dedicated team right now that's just started on it once again, and we're really hoping to, come the first part of the year, the first quarter of this year, to really start adding more drivers to testing that and developing it into something that certainly we can offer to all our owner operators and give them that opportunity to really book their own freight. So fantastic.
I'm looking for that's going to be that live stream is going to be, we're going to be toasting the whole time. It's going to be wonderful. All right. Oh yes,
Jeff,
go ahead.
I was just going to say
a big party.
Yeah. So I noticed another comment in here that I wanted to touch on real quick, and Alejandro had said, are they allowing owners to train or to mentor? And that's something that we've just started just recently. Great program, giving our owners that opportunity to really start training the drivers of the future. Once again, it's something that we've done in the past. We haven't done for a really long time, but it's exciting that our owners can come and do that once again. So any of our current owner operators are out there, if you have that, an interest in really, ramping up the miles, the program's very different from what it was in the past. Michelle, I'll let you touch on kind of a couple of things and how that works, and some of the additional pay and that type of thing if you want.
In the past, Swift has they had taken 5 cents a mile to cover the students' expenses while they were on the truck. Now owners are paid, our independent training consultants are paid the full rate for all the miles that they and their student run while on the truck. Owners with the camera will get a $500 incentive once the student is completed. If the owners without a camera get $250. But we're really excited to have those independent contractors out there training again. We know that you're the safest drivers out there. Of course, you got to protect your equipment, right? So we're really glad to see that the company has decided to let us do that again.
Yep.
Super excited.
It is. Yeah, it's cool. And we've grown that part of the training program has grown phenomenally over the last month. And we just expect that will continue to grow.
Yeah. So you can go, if you're already an owner op and you want to go do that, you go to the driver portal and click apply now. And again, every owner op that I talk to is just so excited about this. They've been wanting it to come back for a long time. Again, Ian got so excited. That was going to be my segue to this topic. So, but yeah, no, but that being able to train and the load board are the two that come up, and we know they're important topics for our owner ops, and we hear you guys. So yeah, I'm excited that's been back, and it sounds like it's been doing really, really well, because I know there's so many, the experience that we have in our owner ops, like you were just talking about, Ian, for them to be able to pass that on. I think Alejandro was the one who just said he was trained by an owner operator out there, right? And, for them to be able to make money doing it, get some company while they're on the road, and, keep those connections is just fantastic. So I'm really, really excited that this is taken off again as a program.
Yep.
All right. Let's see here. Are there any other questions that we have? Take a look here. Or Michelle, anything you want to add here?
I don't think so.
Okay, here's Emma wants to know, can you be an owner operator on a dedicated account?
Most dedicated accounts. It is a case-by-case basis. We have to reach out to the management of that dedicated account, but more accounts than ever are started, taking on owner operators. So you just need to give us a call. We'll do the legwork. We'll find out for you, and we'll get it handled.
Yep. And not only that, we're continually adding additional accounts. Michelle touched on it a little bit, where it's kind of a regional, or it's not necessarily a dedicated account to a manufacturer or to a specific account. It's more dedicated to a region and those types of things. So we're really looking for ways to offer owner operators what they're looking for, the balance, so that they can get home more often. They don't have to necessarily, in some of these accounts, stay out for weeks at a time. They can potentially go home more often and still make the kind of money that they want to make. So we're constantly looking for ways to improve our program, and
we're willing to look into just about anything. I mean, if there's an account out there that's never taken owner operators, we're not making any promises, but we'll go to management and we'll see what we can do. If there's a pay package to be had for an owner operator, we'll get it.
Yeah. And again, from this side of the coin, I talk to a lot of drivers, but I also, work with, both of you and the owner op team quite a bit. I know how hard you work for your owner operators and to find a way to find a solution for them, however they want to work with Swift. And we did have a question here, and I don't know if this is something you would know or not, but there's a question of to do a lease to own or to be an owner operator, do you have to have your own business license?
No, you don't. You do not. It is a choice.
Yeah, you can run as a sole proprietor. So as long as you have a name and a social security number, then you can get paid as an owner operator. But if you wanted to develop, build out your own LLC and run under that, that's certainly an option as well. So it's something that no, you don't have to have a business license. You just have to have, the drive to run hard, to drive safe, and to be able to manage your fuel properly. I mean, those are the three main keys for an owner.
Okay. And then I'm not quite sure what this is referring to, but you can let me know here. So Craig wants to know, how soon will graphics be available for trucks at other shops. Oh, this is the
decal.
the
Decals.
decals. There we
Right.
go. Okay, it said graphics, and I'm thinking like something else. So I'm with you
I'll
now.
let you answer that, Michelle.
Well, most of the major terminals, the big six, we're looking at Memphis and Salt Lake City, Greer, South Carolina, and Phoenix. Those ones already have them. I've got several of my trucks in Greer are already decaled. They sent out more this week. So, if you want a truck and you want it decaled, just let us know. We can make it happen.
Yep.
Now,
And even if it isn't, we can make it happen. So if you decide that you find a truck that you like and there's not a decal on it, let's talk about it and let's get a decal on it for you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. We blacked out a couple just because the driver said, hey, I like the blackout package. I don't like the chrome. Okay, let's try it.
What's the most popular? Do you know what's the most popular package? Is there one that's sort of taken the lead, or?
I think that the
Is it
American stuff is, I've had a couple with first responders and the American Eagle
flag.
and the patriotic type trucks, I think, are taking the lead right now.
But we've got a catalog of a ton of different types of decals. And so, a lot of people are excited about those kind of freedom trucks and the American
And if
pride.
you like neon pink, we got it.
We got some of that.
Nice.
So we had one the other day, Jeff, that they did it kind of was a pinstripe with
Really?
it was almost like a cursive pinstripe that I thought looked awesome. It was on a blue truck and with the white pinstripe, it looked really good. Very subtle, but looked really good.
Well, that gets back to what we were talking about before. Owner ops they're one of a kind, right? You just get to do what you want to do. And I think if you want to rock a pinstripe truck or a neon pink truck or whatever you want to do, it's all good. So, all right.
Yep.
A couple more. So Don had a question with regards to forward-facing cameras. Can you use your own equipment, or do you have to use company-provided equipment?
So you can absolutely use your own equipment. The thing that I would say that's different about the Smart Drive program over having your own camera is the Smart Drive program isn't just a camera. So with a camera, you have video, you may not have audio. What you don't have generally is the ECM information. And so when you're, the reason to have a camera is to protect your business, right? To protect yourself from that car that pulls out in front of you and intentionally gets hit by you or something to that effect, right?
Sure.
And so with that Smart Drive system, it's tied to, it can tell you along with the video information, it can tell you were you braking? How soon did you hit your brakes? Were you trying to avoid the situation? It's going to give you all that information along with it. And so that's why we've chose that program, is because it really gives you a high level of protection when it's on the truck.
Yeah. And I know drivers, no one likes to have cameras if they don't need them, but I've talked to a lot of drivers where they've had an incident and they've totally flipped. They're like, I didn't like that thing, but I am really glad I had it now when I needed it, because it had all the information to, show that they weren't at fault or to show what really happened in a situation.
Exactly.
Well, everybody likes to blame the big truck, and it's not always the big truck.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I've seen that over and over again.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get a couple more in here. Keith wants to know, can a lease owner op start a fleet with Swift while leasing trucks through Swift?
Yes.
Again,
we have several that have multiple trucks. So I've worked with one for the longest that had 20. So, you, as long as you're making money and have a little startup money in the bank, because, we want to make sure that you're preparing for taking on multiple trucks.
Right.
Because obviously you only can drive one at a time, so you have to have some sort of padding, something to fall back on if you lose a driver. But yeah, bring it on.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, we've got, and then think about this, Jeff, the ability to build a fleet business or even just a single truck business, but your ability to build that business with regardless of what your credit score is and regardless of how much money you are able to put down on this business. You literally can build, when you're talking about 5 or 10 trucks, you're talking about virtually $1 million in asset business that you've been able to build without really taking that money out of your own pocket. It's just a matter of following the program that Swift has put together and creating your own big business. It's cool.
Yeah, I know several people who have done it, and it's fantastic to see. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't shortchange it. It takes a lot of hard work.
Absolutely,
it takes a lot of focus,
You have to be a
and
good employer.
Yep. I mean, there's a lot that comes with having people working for you that is not easy sometimes, but for those who are willing to do it, boy, it can really, really pay off.
Yep.
All right. Michael had a quick question. Decals, how much do they cost?
Go ahead, Michelle.
Well, we try if you want when you're leasing a truck, if you want that package, prior to leasing, we'll do that for you. Ian, I think we talked about it previously for another driver. I think it's $300 or so if we want to have somebody that comes to us and just wants, a decal package added to their current unit.
Yep, exactly. So if you're a current owner operator, you want to put a decal on your truck, it's probably, depending on the size of the decal, obviously, mean, wrapping the entire truck's obviously going to cost a lot more than just adding a decal. But generally speaking, the decals that we have in that catalog are about $300 to $400. So, but like Michelle said, if you're looking at leasing, then call Michelle, call our business advisors, and find out what trucks we have that currently have decals on them. Excuse me. And if there is a truck that you'd like to add a decal to prior to your lease, then we'll take care of that for you. And we'll put it on.
Yeah, I can send you, our catalog pictures, and you can choose what you want. Of course, the easiest to do is go out to Phoenix and say, give me this, and we'll work it out.
Okay, well, I know we're hitting half an hour here, but I want to answer one or two more questions if we can. Carlos wants to know, how much should one have saved to become an owner-op with Swift?
Well, see, that's the beauty of our program. You don't have to have anything put back. You've got that 23 days on our, outside of our holiday special, obviously, but you have that 23 days where you can actually bank some really nice money while you have no truck payment. So you're not required to have anything. You're issued a fuel card, you charge your fuel, and you're paid back with each weekly settlement. So, I mean, it's nice to have, obviously, but not necessary.
Great. All right. We've got a couple questions asking about how much a payment is on this kind of truck or that kind of truck. What's the total cost of ownership? That, to me, I mean, if you want, we can field those, but that sounds to me like the thing they should be calling and working out. Absolutely. The individual situation. And
I can tell you this, less than $1,000 on a weekly basis, less than $1,000 in fixed expenses every week.
And the one way that I think is good to look at it is, what is your break even? So how many miles do you have to run before all that's paid for? Once all that's paid for, then your income or your take home that grows exponentially beyond that. And so knowing that each week you've got to run, and Michelle, correct me on this, but you've got to run 1,200 miles a week roughly to pay for your business. And after that, that's just money in the bank, aside from your cost of fuel.
All right. Any other thoughts that you guys want to get out? Okay. So Dave has one here. Lease operator versus company operator. Is there really a big difference versus company driver?
So I think that's a pretty good question. Yeah, there's absolutely a difference. When it comes down to it, is the freight different freight? No, we've got all the same freight, that's spread out throughout the company. But your freedom and your opportunity to be able to be selective on what loads you want to run, or whether or not you want to run that day, you have a large amount of freedom as an owner operator to really choose what your business does. And so that I think that's probably the biggest difference for sure.
That's a fair one. Looks like we lost Michelle, although I have to give her, that was a fabulous frame freeze. Every time my connection drops, I look like I'm drunk, and she just had this sort of amazing thing here, but we lost her connection. But that's good, because I think we're in the home stretch here.
Cool.
So, thank you, Ian, for your time. I will thank Michelle and let her fan club know that she is well appreciated. Thank you to all the owner ops out of there. I know we had a lot of people asking about becoming an owner op. but we had a bunch of owner operators. Guess who's back? Here
I'm
she
sorry,
is.
I don't know what happened.
We were just saying it was one of the best freeze frames I've ever seen. You look great. So
Yeah, I probably did not.
go back and watch it. You did. Okay, but we're just wrapping up here. Any final thoughts for either our owner operators who are out there now working hard or somebody who wants to join the team?
Well, we definitely appreciate you. You know, it's Driver Appreciation Day, but we appreciate all the drivers, owner operator or not. Anybody that's, you know, remotely interested in becoming an owner operator, you have questions, call us. That's what we're here for. We'll answer any questions. We're willing to work with you anytime. And we look forward to it.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, then thank everybody who is watching. If you've got any questions, even if you're watching this later, leave them below and we'll get back to you, or contact us at the number scrolling below and we'll answer any other questions you have. Be safe out there and have a great day.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.